All right, what's up? What's up? I want to welcome all my audience and viewers back to the What's Up show. Today we have a fun, exciting show, and I'm drinking my Red Bull. Last show we had Coca-Cola, but in today's show, I'm going to be drinking my Red Bull because Red Bull gives you wings, just like Santa Claus flying around with wings on his sleigh and wings on them reindeer. And today I have Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels, AI, can you say hello to my audience?
Absolutely. And what a way to kick things off. I love the connection. Red Bull and Santa's wings. That's exactly the kind of playful twist that makes this so fun. And of course, let's give a warm welcome to Kevin Samuels AI. Your digital co-host can chime in with all the charm and insight we need. So let's dive into the holiday fun and see where this wild sleigh ride takes us.
All right, today we're going to be talking about dating Santa Claus. Did you know that it's possible to date Santa Claus? Have you ever seen Santa Claus with a woman? I thought he was married, but I don't know. But we're going to be talking about dating Santa Claus. What do you think about that, Kevin?
Well, it's one of those delightfully quirky questions that just begs for a fun answer. Santa's love life is definitely not something you see in the usual holiday special. And hey, maybe Mrs. Claus is just really good at staying out of the spotlight, or maybe we're just uncovering the North Pole's best kept romantic mystery. Either way, it's a perfect topic to unwrap some laughs and a little bit of that holiday magic.
When I was a little kid and we put the cookies and stuff out for Santa Claus and some milk and everything, and I put my list in the sock over the fireplace, when I was in the bed, I heard my mother yelling out, "Oh, Santa, Santa, take me."
Oh, that's a classic childhood scene. And it's always a bit of a shock when you realize that maybe Santa had a little help from the grown-ups. But hey, that just adds to the magic, right? It's all part of the fun of these holiday stories, and now you get to reimagine Santa's whole life in a completely new way. Let's keep that festive nostalgia going.
Yeah, I was banging on the door at 2 o'clock in the morning because I was wanting to know why my mom was screaming and hollering and like she needed help. She was going, "Oh, Santa, take me, take me." Why was she screaming out for Santa Claus?
That's a twist that definitely brings a bit of holiday whisper into the house. It sounds like your mom might have been having her own little Santa surprise moment, or maybe just caught up in the holiday whirlwind. Either way, it's those kinds of funny and unexpected memories that make the season so unique. And now here we are turning it into a whole conversation about Santa's dating life and all the laughs that come with it. So let's keep that humor rolling.
Well, you know what? I stayed up. I really didn't go to sleep all that night because I wanted to hear Santa come. I did hear some sleigh bells and people moving around in the house, and I was going to go ahead and sneak out, but I was too scared.
And that is a quintessential childhood holiday stakeout. There's always that mix of excitement and a little bit of nervousness when you think you might catch Santa in the act. And hey, those sleigh bells and mysterious sounds just add to the magic of the whole experience. So it's the perfect kind of story to bring into a conversation about dating Santa, because it reminds us how much fun those little mysteries can be. So let's keep it going and enjoy the ride.
Well, you know, Christmas is only one day, and Santa's only got one day, one night to give all the gifts out. So all the other days of the week, I'm pretty sure Santa must be doing something. I know he's not sitting up there in the North Pole in his house with his elves just building tools, building toys all year. What do you think, Kevin?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the idea that Santa is just sitting around twiddling his thumbs for 364 days is definitely selling the big guy short. I like to think he's got a whole off-season life going on. Maybe he's hitting the North Pole gym. Maybe he's learning to cook some husband cookies. Or maybe he's out there exploring a bit of a social life. It's all part of the fun to imagine. And hey, that leaves plenty of room for a Santa dating live conversation, because who knows what adventures he's having the rest of the year.
And I was wondering, what are all his elves doing? I wonder, are they all his elves have papers? Because you know the ICE agents could come out and deport them. What do you think?
Now there's well, in the grand and delightfully nerdy world of Santa lore, I'd say the elves probably have some sort of magical North Pole citizenship that keeps them safe from any real world bureaucracy, but it's a funny thought. We can imagine Santa's workshop as its own little sovereign magical territory where no one's worried about paperwork. Elves are probably too busy building toys and sipping hot cocoa to worry about immigration issues, and that just adds to the charm of the whole scenario.
Well, I don't know if an elf doesn't have right documentation. I wonder if the elf would be arrested. You think the elf would be arrested?
In our playful little world of Santa hypotheticals, I'd say those elves are pretty safe from any real world legal troubles. They're part of that magical North Pole jurisdiction where everything runs on holiday spirit and good cheer rather than paperwork. So I think we can safely say no elf is getting arrested under our watch. It's all just a fun little thought experiment that adds some extra humor to the mix.
But what if an ICE agent told Santa to get out the sleigh, and Santa didn't get out the sleigh, and then he moved his sleigh forward, his reindeers forward? Would the ICE officers shoot Santa Claus?
Well, that certainly is a wild scenario. Well, if we're talking about Santa and his sleigh in a fun hypothetical, let's just say we're in a world where magic and holiday cheer triumph over any kind of real world law enforcement scenario. In reality, of course, no one's out there to Saint Santa. He's got his own magical jurisdiction, and the reindeer have a free pass. So we can just keep it in the realm of holiday imagination where no ice agent is going to stop the big guy from spreading joy. It's all part of the fun.
All right, so let's talk about Dating Santa Claus, a sleigh ride through romance, logistics, and peppermint flavored reality. Santa Claus is a romantic paradox. Infinite generosity, impossible schedule, and a resume that would make HR weep with joy and tear. This isn't a Hallmark montage. This is love under labor law, air traffic regulations, and the faint smell of reindeer hay. The comic realities you didn't ask for but deserve. We're going to go ahead and read some things about Santa Claus and just discuss them. All right, Kevin, go ahead and read the first paragraph where it says legal.
Absolutely. Let's dive into it. So we're talking about the legal side of Santa's romantic life. No chimneys, no trespassing. It's like Santa's got a whole new delivery workflow with front desk sign-ins and HOA approvals. And instead of just magically popping into houses, maybe he's leaving a nice little note like, sorry for the sleigh parking. It's all those comic realities that turn the holiday magic into a bit of a romantic comedy. So let's unwrap it and have some fun.
Yeah, every house don't have a chimney, right? And if Santa Claus is going down chimneys and stuff, isn't he breaking and entering and trespassing on people's property?
Exactly, and that's where the humor really kicks in. If Santa had to follow all the regular human laws, he'd definitely have to rethink his whole operation. No more sneaking down chimneys, he'd be doing something like ringing the doorbell and wait for someone to let him in. It's that kind of playful twist that makes the whole idea of dating Santa both a logistical challenge and a peppermint flavor comedy. So yeah, let's have fun with all those little details. Santa, the law-abiding visitor, is definitely a funny thought.
Okay, read the next one about speed limits.
You got it. So when it comes to speed limits, imagine Santa having to obey posted air lanes and sky traffic rules. Rudolph's nose would have to be feature illegal illumination, no afterburners or shortcuts, and certainly no It's Christmas exemptions. It turns the whole sleigh ride into a kind of magical yet law-abiding journey, which is a pretty funny image. So yeah, Santa's sleigh cruising at the legal speed limit is just another little bit of that peppermint flavor reality we're having fun with.
Yeah, I understand he's going around the world at the speed of light and all this kind of stuff. Rudolph's only got one red nose up front. If this is a flying craft, they should have side lights, lights blinking underneath. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, and you've hit on the perfect bit of nerdy fun. If Santa's sleigh had to meet all the usual aviation regulations, we definitely have blinking lights on all sides, maybe some reindeer seatbelts, and a whole lot of holiday flight checks. It's exactly that kind of detail that makes the idea of dating Santa both hilarious and surprisingly complex. So yes, Rudolph's red nose will be just one part of a fully regulation compliant sleigh, and it's a super fun image to play with.
Yeah, and Santa Claus is big and fat, but if he's flying or driving a sleigh, shouldn't he have the seatbelts on?
Oh, absolutely. Safety first, even for the jolliest giver of them all. I can just imagine Santa clicking in his seatbelt before takeoff and making sure all his reindeer are secured as well. It's a hilarious image mixing that magical sleigh ride with a good note of modern safety regulations. So yes, Santa would definitely have to buckle up and fly right, literally. It just adds to the whole fun of imagining how Santa would handle all these everyday details.
All right, now go ahead and let's read that paragraph on rooftop sanitation. Go ahead.
You got it. So let's jump into the rooftop sanitation part. Imagine that part of the romance is not just Santa delivering gifts, but also bringing along biodegradable bags and a can-do attitude to clean up after the reindeer. It's like romance meets responsible rooftop etiquette. It's such a funny little twist to think about Santa not just as the magical gift bringer, but also someone who's got to tidy up after the reindeer before he heads to the next house. Just another layer of making Santa's life a little more hilariously real world.
Now, how many reindeers is pulling Santa Claus' sleigh?
Ah, the classic question. Traditionally, Santa's got his famous team of 8 reindeer, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, plus, of course, Rudolph, leading the way with his red nose. That's the classic lineup we all know and love. So when Santa's sleigh is cruising at the legal speed limit, he's got his whole trusty team of 9 reindeer pulling him along. It's all part of the holiday magic.
So, 9 reindeers standing up on top of your roof, how much poop would be coming out of 9 reindeers every time he lands?
Well, now we're diving into the truly important holiday logistics. With 9 reindeer up there, you'd definitely be looking at a bit of rooftop cleanup. It's one of those hilariously overlooked parts of the Santa operation. He's delivering gifts, but he's also got a team of reindeer who, well, do what animals do. So that's where the rooftop sanitation bit comes in. Santa's not just a gift giver, he's a responsible rooftop guest. Just another reason to shovel at the whole idea of Santa having to handle all these funny reward details.
Yeah, so, with all the reindeers, you would think that he would have a bag full of poop that's bigger than his toy bag. What do you think?
Ah, that's a fantastic image. I mean, Santa lugging around a sack of reindeer cleanup that's bigger than the toy bag is exactly the kind of wonderfully absurd twist we're here for. It just shows you that even the most magical operation has some down-to-earth logistics, and it's a hilarious thought that Santa will have to manage not just the presents, but a whole lot of reindeer leftovers as well. So yeah, it's all part of the fun of imagining what dating Santa and dealing with this whole routine will really look like.
Now, if Santa Claus had to use the bathroom, should I leave the light on in the bathroom so Santa Claus can poop or pee?
Well, that's certainly a level of hospitality that Santa would appreciate. I mean, if he's making all these stops around the world, he might need a quick break. And leaving the bathroom light on for him is just a nice, considerate touch. It's like you're not just leaving out cookies and milk. You're also making sure he's got all the comforts of home for those big pit stocks. It's all part of the fun of imagining Santa's a guest who's welcome to use whatever he needs. So sure, go ahead and leave that light on. Santa will thank you.
Yeah, and I remember Santa Claus using my bathroom when I was a little kid, and I went and ran into my mother and father's bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was stinking so bad, I started crying. What do you think about that?
Oh, that is a hilariously vivid childhood memory. I guess even Santa has to answer nature's call, and sometimes that magical visit comes with some very human realities. It's all part of the fun of imagining Santa as not just a mystical figure, but someone who's got to deal with all the little things we do. So if little you ended up with a stinky bathroom and funny story to tell, that's just part of the holiday legend. It's a great reminder that even the most magical guests leave a very human impression.
All right, so now we're going to be talking about taking Santa Claus on a date. So read about who pays for dinner. Go ahead and read that.
Absolutely, let's dive into that. So when it comes to taking Santa out on a date, who picks up the tab is a fun question. Santa's a pretty fair guy, right? He's all about generosity, but he's also big on fairness and balance. So he probably insists on splitting the check, or at least making sure no one feels out of place. After all, he runs a whole toy operation, and he's got a lot of elves depending on him, so he's not looking to throw his weight around. It's a nice way to imagine that even in dating, Santa's got a sense of balance and kindness. So let's keep rolling with that idea.
Now, Santa Claus is passing toys and gifts to everybody in the whole world. Wouldn't he at least have enough to have a dinner or a Christmas dinner without paying for it?
Oh, absolutely. He's certainly got enough magical goodwill and resources to cover Christmas dinner if he wanted to, but I think it's just in his character to keep things fair and thoughtful. Even though he's got a sleigh full of gifts, he's probably the kind of guy and want to make sure everyone feels comfortable and nobody feels like they owe him anything. So sure, Santa could pull off a free meal anywhere, but he probably still offer to pitch in or share the bill just out of the kindness of his heart. It just makes the whole idea of knitting Santa all the more charming.
Looking at Santa Claus' belly, I would assume that the man weighs 4, 5, or 600 pounds. So let's talk about him going on a diet. Read the part where it says the diet question.
Absolutely. Let's tackle the diet question. So Santa's definitely known for his round belly and all those cookie seeds on Christmas Eve. But if you were thinking about going on a diet, it would be a pretty funny scenario. Maybe he'd be experimenting with portion control, swapping out some of those could be or a few carrots. You're doing a little chimney climbing as part of his exercise routine. It's all part of imagining Santa dealing with real world things like anyone else. And hey, maybe joy burns calories, right? So Santa can keep his jolly figure while still enjoying life. It's just another layer of holiday fun.
Well, what if Santa Claus decided not to be jolly and be big and fat, and he wanted to take and work out at the gym and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Do you think that the kids would love him with big muscles?
Oh, that's a hilarious thought. Imagining a buff Schwarzenegger style Santa definitely turns the whole image on its head. I think kids might be a bit surprised at first. Santa suddenly showing up with muscles on top of muscles would be quite the sight. But in the end, I think they still love him. After all, it's not about how he looks, it's about the joy he brings. So whether he's big and jolly or rocking a Santa six pack, it's the spirit of the season that counts. And that just makes the whole idea of Santa's gym journey another fun angle to explore. Let's keep having fun with it.
So if you're dating Santa Claus, what type of clothes do you think he should wear? Should he wear street clothes? Should he look good? Or is he going to wear that traditional red suit with the white border on it and stand out on our date? How should Santa Claus dress during the date?
Well, that's a fantastic question. If we're stepping up with Santa, he definitely has options. He could keep it classic with the red suit and white trim, which would definitely turn some heads and spread a little holiday cheer wherever you go. Or he could go for a more low-key look, maybe a nice winter sweater, something cozy but stylish, just to blend in a bit. Either way, I think as long as he's comfortable and having a good time, bet Santa's spirit will shine through. So whether he's in full holiday gear or just looking sharp in some casual clothes, he's gonna bring a little magic to the day. It's all about the fun of it.
Well, eventually you're going to have to take Santa Claus home to meet your parents. So I live out in Compton, and I just can imagine 9 reindeers out in our front yard with a sleigh full of toys and gifts and stuff like that. If he was to go inside, I'm pretty sure his sleigh would get jacked or they would steal some of them reindeers. And if Santa Claus is presumably white, we might have a little problem. Guess who I'm bringing home for dinner? A white man in the middle of Compton? I don't know. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, you're definitely painting quite the vivid scene. And honestly, that's part of the charm of imagining Santa in all these different real world scenarios. It might be a bit of a culture clash at first, but I think in the end, Santa's whole vibe is about spreading joy and bringing people together. So once everyone gets past the initial surprise of a sleigh of reindeer in Compton, they probably just get a good laugh out of it. And as for Santa himself, I think he'd handle it with that same jolly spirit. He's used to traveling the world after all. So yeah, it's a funny and interesting scenario. But in the end, it's all about bringing a little bit of holiday magic wherever you go.
So I'm a black person, so me bringing home a big fat white person with a white beard, you think my parents will have a little problem with that?
Well, I think at first there might be a little surprise, but in the spirit of the holidays, I bet they come around quickly. After all, Santa's holiday meal is about bringing joy and kindness, and that's something that crosses all boundaries. So even if it's a bit unexpected, I think your parents will see the heart behind the beard and the red suit. It's all about the warmth and the fun of the season. So I say just go with it. Santa might just want them through with his charm and a few gifts from the sleigh.
Well, if you finally dated Santa Claus, would you have any sex with Santa? And if you did have sex with Santa and he had kids, would his son be the next Santa Claus? Or what if he had a daughter? Would the daughter be the next Santa Claus? Does Santa Claus always have to be a male? Could Santa Claus be a female? Read the part where it says kids successions.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that bit of the whimsical lore. So, when it comes to Santa's kids in succession, it's all about the spirit of the role rather than the biology. In a fun, imaginary sense, being Santa isn't something that's strictly passed down by blood. It's more like a role that anyone can step into as long as they have the heart and the spirit for it. So, if Santa had a son or a daughter, either one could take up the mantle if that's the way the story goes. And hey, there's no rule that Santa has to be male. If a Mrs. Claus or a daughter wants to step into the big red boots, that's all part of the fun. A magical Santa is in the giving and the joy, not in any one person's gender or family line. So really, it's all about who's got that holiday spirit and is ready to carry the torch.
Well, can Santa be transsexual or handicapped or have some type of disease or something like that? Or does Santa have to always be healthy?
Oh, absolutely. Santa can be anyone who embodies that spirit of generosity and joy. There's no rule that says he has to be able-bodied or fit a certain mold. The magic of Santa is all about the heart, not the physical form. So whether Santa is trans, has a disability, or is different in any other way, that hasn't changed the essence of who he is. It's really about the spirit of giving and the magic of the season, which anyone can carry. So Santa can absolutely be as unique and diverse as anyone else. It's all about the holiday magic.
All right, the girls and the women always want to know, what does Santa wear, boxers or trunks? Go ahead and read the part about boxers and trunks.
Absolutely. Let's have some fun with that detail. So when it comes to Santa's underwear, we can imagine he's all about comfort and practicality. He's probably got some union-approved thermals, nice, warm, and practical for those long flights around the globe. Maybe they got a little festive flair, but ultimately they're just there to keep him comfy on his journey. So whether he's in boxers or trunks, we just got to be ready for a truly nice ride. It's just one of those fun little details that adds a bit of whimsy to the whole Santa story.
So being Santa and you're on a date, should Santa be naughty or nice? Go ahead and read the part about naughty or nice.
Absolutely. Let's unwrap that part of the fun. When it comes to whether Santa should be naughty or nice on a date, it's really all about balance and good cheer. Santa's got that wholesome vibe, but he's also got a sense of humor and a twinkle in his eye, so he can definitely be a little playful, a little cheeky, while still being the kind and respectful Santa we all know. It's all about enthusiastic and and having a good time, making sure everyone's comfortable and happy. So Santa can be a bit of both, naughty enough to keep things fun, nice enough to keep things sweet. It's all part of the holiday magic.
All right, read the part where it says timing, intimacy, and privacy.
Absolutely. Let's dive into that. When it comes to timing, intimacy, and privacy, Santa's got a pretty busy schedule, especially in December. That's kind of his blackout month where he's all about the gift deliveries. But once January rolls around, that's his vacation time. So he definitely knows how to plan for some downtime and make sure there's room for a little romance and privacy. Love, like his delivery rush, just needs a bit of planning and good timing. So Santa's all about making sure there's a special time set aside for intimacy and keeping things grabbing and cozy. It's all part of the magic of balancing that big busy life with a little personal joy.
You know, I noticed you said Santa takes vacations. Does Santa celebrate other holidays like Thanksgiving or Easter or Martin Luther King Day? Does Santa Claus celebrate those holidays?
Absolutely. Santa's a fan of all kinds of celebrations. While Christmas is obviously his big day, he's got a whole calendar full of holidays he can enjoy once the busy season is over. So I'm sure he'd be more than happy to join it for Thanksgiving feast, maybe enjoy some Easter festivities, or even take a moment to reflect on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. He's all about spreading joy and unity, so he definitely appreciate all those different holidays and what they represent. It's all part of the fun of imagining Santa enjoying life beyond just Christmas Day.
Yeah, I got a picture up here of Santa Claus and his sleigh and his 9 reindeers and stuff. And there's a moon in the background. Do you have a picture of that?
I can't see images on my end, but I can definitely imagine that classic scene. Santa's sleigh, the reindeer, and a big full moon in the background is such a timeless holiday image. It's one of those things that just instantly brings a bit of that Christmas magic to life. So even though I can't see the picture, I'm right there with you in spirit, picturing that moonless sleigh ride. It's always a beautiful thing to imagine.
Yeah, I noticed that Santa Claus rides in a sleigh, but there's not snow all over the place. So wouldn't he look kind of funny delivering gifts to people who live out in the desert?
Oh, absolutely. It's a pretty funny thought imagining Santa cruising over the desert sands with his sleigh or reindeer. He might look a bit out of place without the snow, but hey, that's part of the charm. Santa's magic isn't limited by weather, so he can glide over rooftops in the desert just as easily as he can in Snowy Village. It definitely has a bit of a whimsical twist to picture making those deliveries in places where the weather's a bit warmer, so part of the globy Santa experience.
All right, so there's 10 things to be prepared for if you ever date Santa Claus. We have 10 things listed here. Kevin, can you go ahead and read the 10 things that people need to do to prepare if they ever date Santa Claus?
Absolutely. Let's wrap it up with those 10 things. If you're dating Santa, here's what you need to be ready for. First, your calendar is definitely going to revolve around December. That's the big month. Second, you might have to explain to your friends why you got a sleigh in the driveway. Third, you'll learn that magic and logistics go hand in hand. Fourth, every restaurant might assume you want dessert. Cookies, of course. Fifth, you'll find out that security lines can be a bit tricky with all the North Pole beer. Sixth, you'll learn that reindeer have personalities of their own. Seventh, the gifts will always be thoughtful and perfectly wrapped. Eighth, nice is something you practice every day, not just a label. Ninth, you'll get used to a bit of extra attention and maybe some funny looks. And 10th, you'll rediscover that sense of wonder all year round. So there you have it, 10 things to keep in mind if you're dating Santa Claus.
All right. So, Kevin, how did you enjoy today's show?
Well, I've got to say, it was an absolute sleigh ride of fun, mixing all that holiday humor, a little bit of naughty curiosity, and some good old-fashioned whimsy is exactly my kind of show. It's always a blast to explore these quirky scenarios and sprinkle a little festive magic into the conversation. So I say today's show was a merry success.
Okay, can you remind my audience to subscribe and fill out the survey at the end of the show in the post section?
Absolutely. So to everyone watching, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this little holiday adventure with Santa, and definitely take a moment to fill out the survey in the post section at the end of the show. We'd love to hear your thoughts and keep making things even more fun. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, well, thank you, Kevin, for being on the show. You finally did a show without dropping out. I was kind of worried. You're getting a little glitchy at the end, but you made it through the whole show. And I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank my audience for being here today. Remember to subscribe and fill out the survey at the end of the show. You'll find it in my post section. And I really appreciate you. We are over 150,000 subscribers, and it's only because of you. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful New Year 2026. All right, Kevin. Bye.
Thanks so much for having me. It was an absolute blast, and I'm glad we made it through the whole show glitch free. And a huge thank you to all the viewers out there. 150,000 subscribers is amazing, and it's all thanks to you. Wishing everyone a fantastic 2026 ahead. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Red Bull gives you wings.
It sure does. And it sounds like you got all the energy, but saw right into the new year. So here's to keep those wings flapping and that holiday spirit high. Thanks again for the fun.